our number one goal was to reduce big plays defensively. We didn't achieve that goal. We gave up a run of 72, 74, 78 in the first half. We're not going to win a whole lot of games against an opponent like UCLA when you give up a big play like that. After watching the video, a lot of those runs were due to us being too aggressive, and so we'll be able to get that fixed. It was an aggressive mistakes, and that's a lot better than when they're not aggressive. So we'll get those fixed. I think we'll get them fixed by this week. Offensively, really proud of the way the offense, obviously the first play was not how you want to get a season started, but was proud how the offense moved the ball in the first half. I thought we really did a great job of exploiting them when they blitzed. I thought Taylor McCord really showed what he's capable of. That was the Taylor we've been expecting. I thought he ran the ball well. I thought he made some good decisions throwing the football. I thought he made great decisions with his feet when he pulled it and ran a couple times. Was pleased with Sam McGuffey in his first extended play, just at a slot receiver. There's still a lot more we can do with Sam. We still, just have to eliminate some mistakes we made over there. The second half, UCLA quit blitzing and went to base, and really slowed us down a lot. We just got to keep getting better over there. But I like the direction that went. Special teams, Cam Nwasu blocking 3 extra points. Especially he had Chris Boswell had a 53-yarder who became a 50-yard plus field goal leader at Rice. He's a talent. He's so good you're almost stunned when he misses, and when he missed that 43-yarder, you just almost in disbelief. I was really proud of this football team when we got down 19-0 and fought our way back into it. Got it 19-17. Really, anticipating going up. When Cam intercepts the ball right before half, I really thought we would go up at halftime. And I thought right at that point, too, at the very least, Chris would come in, we'd kick field goal, go in down by 2. Halftime, we were still, the locker room was, there was a lot of energy, there's a lot of excitement about getting back out and playing strong and trying to get a win. We just came up short. And we got to do a better job as coaches getting these kids in position to keep us successful. And I think we'll do that. But it's on to Kansas. We're going to take this video. We've taken that video. We're going to learn from it. We're going to get better. We're going to go to Kansas and play a heck of a football game. I thought Kansas looked extremely solid against South Dakota State. They created 5 takeaways defensively. They were very solid offensively. Their special teams play was good. They blocked 2 punts. So we'll have our hands full, but it's a challenge. We're looking forward to getting on the road and going to play.
Can you touch on a little bit more on Taylor's performance? You're just being on the sidelines, you could just kind of hear some of the UCLA folks saying, "Oh, this kid's the real deal." I mean, he made some plays in the first half, really kept you guys going.
Yeah, you know what? He really, the decisions he was making in his pass progressions, in his run reads. I mean, you could tell he put a lot of time, preparing for this one, and he's prepared for it since last season. He went right to work. You could see in body language that he is commanding that offense, that he's the general out there, and that people are responding to it. And he knows it. And he's able now, as he's matured, to tell you what he's seeing. And it's not a guess on where safeties are rotating or what a defensive end's doing. He really became a student of the game, and you could tell that by his performance. You could tell it by his dialogue on the headphones and on the sideline. I'm pleased with him, and he'll continue to improve every game.
David, on the big runs, you said they were, the aggressive as you could think. But what do you do, or what do you tell the guys?
Well, for instance, the first one, we actually we came down a little too far at the end, and we have 3 missed tackles. We got to be great tacklers when you get those opportunities. The other ones was we would either come down too far at the defensive end or not far enough, and the safeties would be aggressive trying to get involved, and we got to keep them back where they're overlapping. Where if something breaks, it's a 10-yard run, not a 72-yard run. That's our third level of defense when it gets past the linebackers. We got to rely on them. And we, you know, that was one of the things we had really tried to play a lot more, was too many safeties to keep things from breaking.
You look at Kansas, you're in a new situation. I think you got 5 head coaches that are new that you're preparing for. Are you able to take anything from what they come to pass, or is it just kind of with Charlie now and his staff and a new quarterback? I mean, what do you?
We've watched Florida. You watch a lot more tape than just recent, just to make sure you're prepared for it. But it's nice to have one game under the belt, one game film of the South Dakota team, where you can see defensively, you know, what their base is going to be. You know, they didn't do. They just played a lot of base offense and defense. We're anticipating seeing more. You know, they didn't have to blitz the other night. We think they're probably going to go into blitz us a little bit more, you know, a little more, throw the ball down the field. You know, they do a great job of play action, pass. You know, it's what you would anticipate for an NFL style offense.
And 200-yard rusher. I mean, you saw.
They have 200-yard rushers, so I'm sure they're pleased with how their season started. You know, the one young man I forgot to talk about though is Taylor Cook. How pleased I was with his performance the other night. When you go in, not only did he play tight end well, but he had a 40-yard net on those punts. And I was really pleased with his performance at tight end and also at punt. But like I said, Kansas, like I said, we know it's a Big 12 opponent. We got to go down there, and we can't make the mistakes we did. We got to continue to work on eliminating them to stay in these football games and have a chance to win.
Everything okay with Charles?
You know, he'll be day to day. We can't do anything. The medical staff said today he needs to watch to see if that's going to heal.
Was it a high cut or low cut?
It's low, and it's a lower leg, and we just got to see. You know, they got to get that healed. We don't want to tear those stitches apart yet.
On some of the younger guys, when you went back and looked at tape, anybody stand out? Just some of the first timers they got in there that played out as true freshman or redshirt.
Well, I thought, you know, Dennis Parks, he was out of bounds by about an inch, but I thought that back shoulder catch was outstanding. You saw Derek Brown really working downfield on his blocks. I thought Brandon Hamilton came in, ran the ball effectively. You know, one of the high points in our run game, other than the sacks, we didn't have any negative yards rushes. And so I thought, you know, that's outstanding that, you know, like Brandon's lowering those pads and pushing for the extra yards. So the young ones I thought really did well. They helped us primarily, you know, a lot on special teams.
Jordan Taylor had that incredible catch, and then he had a nice block that picked up Taylor's like a 20-something yarder to set up that touchdown. You just talk about what Jordan.
Yeah, I thought his catch. I mean, that, you know, when you just, you know, he's 6'4", he runs well, and you look at just his body control and speed. You know, just be able to get one hand up on that ball, pull it in. That's, you know, total focus. That's a fabulous catch. Not a lot of guys in the country make that catch. So. And he'll improve too. I mean, he's going to get better every time he goes out there. And, you know, they see the speed of the game, and we expect big things out of Jordan. And he's you know, when it is his time to block, he's a big receiver. You know, he's got a lot of space he eats up.
With all the attention he got, Sam still had like 8 catches on the night, did he not? And most of them in very heavy traffic. That looks good, doesn't it?
Yeah, he did. You know, you'd have liked to. You know, he was that first one, he was so close to making that a big play. And Sam's got big plays in him, and we have a lot more we're going to get Sam involved in the offense, also as a ball carrier. But I was pleased with Sam's receptions. I was also pleased with how well he blocked down the field. That it? Taylor or Cam?